You want to know what true betrayal feels like? It is not a stranger stabbing you in the back. It is not a friend turning away when you need them most. No, it is far more intimate than that. It is the sound of your own daughter laughing with your man behind closed doors. It is the discovery that the two people you love most in the world have found comfort in each other's arms while you sit in silence, blind to the truth. Before I begin, I want to thank every single one of you who has taken the time to listen to my story. Your presence means more than you know. If you have ever been betrayed, abandoned, or broken, I hope my story gives you courage to rise again. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice is part of my healing, and perhaps my pain will help someone else find strength. The story of my betrayal began quietly, almost too quietly. At the time, I believed I was happy. I was 46 years old, living in a small town in Ohio, where the summers were humid and heavy, and the winters bit through bone. My daughter, Lily, was 22, still trying to figure out her place in the world. She had beauty she never asked for, skin like porcelain, hair that shimmered gold in the sunlight, and eyes that seemed to draw people in without effort. My man, Richard, was 10 years younger than me. He was strong, confident, and had that raw charm that made women turn their heads when he walked into a room. He was not my husband, but he was the man who made me believe that life after divorce could still be sweet. He was the man who whispered promises in my ear, who told me I was more than enough. And I believed him. At first, Richard and Lily did not interact much. She would come home from college on weekends, dropping her bags in the hallway, scrolling endlessly on her phone, and rolling her eyes whenever I asked about classes or plans. Richard, trying to be polite, would ask her about school, about her interests, about her life. She gave short answers, uninterested, distant. I never thought anything of it. But something shifted. It began with laughter. One afternoon, I came back from grocery shopping, the heavy bags cutting into my arms. Before I opened the door, I heard it, Lily's laughter echoing through the living room, light and musical, a sound I had not heard in years. And there was Richard's deeper chuckle, following right after. My heart warmed in that moment. I thought, finally, they are bonding. Finally, they see each other as family. I could not have been more wrong. Over the weeks, I noticed subtle changes. Richard, who once looked at me with steady attention, now had eyes that shifted when Lily walked into the room. He was careful, but I caught the flicker of something unspoken, admiration, hunger, maybe even desire. I told myself I was imagining it. After all, what kind of man would look at his partner's daughter that way? What kind of daughter would invite it? Denial is a dangerous drug. I ignored the moments when I found them sitting too close on the couch, sharing whispers and smiles. I ignored how Lily suddenly seemed more interested in her appearance when Richard was around, wearing skirts that clung to her, or leaning forward just enough to draw his eyes. I told myself, she is young. She is testing boundaries. He is strong. He will not cross the line. But late at night, when the house was quiet, my insecurities clawed at me. I began to wonder if my age had become a shadow between us, if my stretch marks, my wrinkles, and the exhaustion etched into my face had made me less desirable. Lily was youth, temptation, and effortless allure. And Richard was a man. Still, I trusted them both. Because what else could I do? They were my world. The night it all broke began like any other. I had been working late, the kind of shift that leaves your feet aching and your spirit drained. When I pulled into the driveway, the lights in the house were dim. A part of me thought I should let it be, let the night end without questions. But something compelled me to move quietly, to listen before entering. And that was when I heard it. A moan. Soft, muffled, but undeniable. I froze. My heart thundered against my chest. I pressed my ear against the front door, trembling. Then I heard Richard's voice, low and husky, followed by Lily's breathless giggle. I could not breathe. I could not think. I pushed the door open with shaking hands, and what I saw burned itself into my memory forever. They were on the couch. My couch. Lily, flushed and breathless, her hair tumbling around her face. Richard, his hands on her as if she belonged to him. Their eyes snapped to me the moment I entered, and for a second, the world stopped. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tear the walls down. But all I could do was stand there, my grocery bags falling to the floor, oranges rolling across the hardwood, the sound of betrayal louder than anything I had ever known. Lily scrambled up, her lips swollen, her shirt half unbuttoned. "Mom, this is not." "Do not," I choked out, my voice barely a whisper. "Do not you dare." Richard stood, trying to steady himself, but his eyes betrayed him. There was no remorse, no shame, only the raw hunger of a man caught in the act but unwilling to apologize. In that moment, something inside me shattered. The love I thought I had, the trust one built, the sacrifices I made, it all collapsed like glass underfoot. I wanted answers. I wanted to know when it started, how long it had been going on, why they thought I was so blind. But my voice failed me. All I could do was stare at the two people who had destroyed me. And then Richard said the words that nearly broke me completely. "She came to me first." The silence after those words was unbearable. That was the night I learned never to trust anyone fully, not even the ones who share your blood, not even the ones who promise you forever. But my story does not end there. No, betrayal is only the beginning. What followed was darker, heavier, and more dangerous than I ever imagined. Because when a heart breaks, it does not shatter quietly, it explodes. And mine was ready to burn everything in its path. The silence in that room was unbearable. The oranges from the fallen grocery bag rolled aimlessly across the floor, bumping against the table leg as if mocking the wreckage of my life. My daughter stood frozen, her lips parted, her eyes wide with panic. Richard, still standing in the middle of the living room, had the audacity to meet my gaze without flinching. "She came to me first." His words hung in the air like a blade suspended over my heart. I turned to Lily. My Lily. The baby I had carried inside me, the child I had rocked to sleep during stormy nights, the teenager I had defended against bullies, the young woman I thought I had raised to value family, honesty, and love. I searched her eyes for denial, for outrage, for some desperate attempt to say it was not true. But instead, she looked down at the carpet, her silence deafening. It was true. My knees weakened, and I stumbled back against the doorframe, clutching it for balance. A deep ache spread through my chest, so sharp I thought it might kill me right there. "Why?" The word fell from my lips like a broken prayer. Lily finally looked at me. "Mom, I did not mean for this to happen." Did not mean for this to happen? I laughed, but the sound was hollow, bitter. "You let him touch you. You let him kiss you. My voice cracked, rage and despair colliding. "You betrayed me, Lily. You betrayed me in the worst way possible." Richard stepped forward, his voice unnervingly calm. "You are blowing this out of proportion. It is not what you think." I snapped my head toward him. "Not what I think. I saw it with my own eyes, Richard. I heard her moans. I saw your hands on her. And you stand here and tell me it is not what I think?" For the first time, his mask cracked. A flicker of anger crossed his face. "Do not act like you have been perfect. Do not act like you have given me everything I needed." The words cut deeper than any knife. He was shifting the blame onto me, turning my grief into guilt. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to burn the house down with both of them inside. But I held myself still, trembling with fury. The days that followed were a blur of anger, tears, and silence. I locked myself in my room, refusing to eat, refusing to speak. Lily knocked on my door more times than I could count, her voice breaking, begging for me to forgive her. "Mom, please. I made a mistake. I did not want to hurt you." But I did not answer. What words could bridge that kind of wound? What forgiveness could undo the image of her with Richard, her face flushed with the same passion he once gave me. Richard, on the other hand, was bolder. He carried himself around the house as if nothing had happened, as if I had no right to be angry. He tried to corner me in the kitchen one morning, leaning close, his voice low. "You need to let this go," he said. "You are making it worse than it is." I stared at him, my hand tightening around the coffee mug I held. "If you touch me again, Richard, I swear to God, I will kill you." For a moment, he smirked, as if amused by my rage. But I think he saw something in my eyes, something unhinged, something feral, that made him step back. It was Lily who finally forced a confrontation. 3 nights after the discovery, she barged into my room, her face streaked with tears, her voice trembling. "Mom, please, I cannot take this silence anymore. Yell at me. Hate me. Do something. But do not shut me out like this." I looked at her, and the pain in her eyes mirrored my own. But sympathy was swallowed by anger. "Why, Lily? Why him? Of all men in the world, why did you have to take mine?" She broke down, collapsing to the floor at the foot of my bed. "I was lonely, Mom. You do not understand. I have always lived in your shadow. Everyone calls me beautiful, but they never see me for me. Richard did. He made me feel seen. He made me feel alive." Her words struck me like lightning. My own daughter had not just betrayed me, she had desired what was mine. She had wanted the man who kissed my scars, who knew my secrets, who held me at night when the world felt too heavy. I felt sick. "You think feeling seen justifies sleeping with him?" I spat. "You think your loneliness excuses destroying me? You are my daughter, Lily. My daughter. And you looked at the man who shares my bed and decided you wanted him too?" Her sobs filled the room, but I did not move to comfort her. For the first time in her life, I did not see my child, I saw a stranger. Richard eventually left, though not out of guilt. He said he was tired of the drama, tired of being caught between 2 women. He packed a bag and walked out without a backward glance, leaving wreckage in his wake. But Lily stayed. And that was the cruelest part. Every time I looked at her, I saw his hands on her. Every time she spoke, I remembered the sound of her laughter with him. My home became a graveyard of memories I could not escape. One night, as I lay awake in the dark, I heard her crying in her room. Deep, guttural sobs that clawed at my heart. Despite everything, despite my anger, my mother's instinct ached to comfort her. But I stayed in my bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering when I had lost her. Was it years ago? Was it the moment Richard entered our lives? Or was it always there, hidden beneath the surface, waiting to break me? I did not know. All I knew was that the bond we once had was severed. But betrayal has a way of planting seeds. Anger grew into suspicion. Suspicion grew into bitterness. And bitterness began to twist me into someone I did not recognize. One evening, while cleaning out Richard's things, I found something in his drawer that froze my blood. A small velvet box, tucked neatly under a pile of shirts. Inside was a ring, not meant for me. A receipt folded beside it revealed the truth. It was dated only weeks ago. He had planned to propose. But not to me. My hands shook as I read the name scrawled on the receipt. It was Lily's. My breath caught in my throat. My mind raced, my stomach churned. Richard had not just betrayed me. He had planned to take my daughter as his own. The walls closed in on me, the air thick and suffocating. I staggered back, the box falling from my hands. And in that moment, I realized the betrayal was not over. It was only beginning. The ring box lay open on the floor like a wound that would never close. My hands trembled as I stared at the glittering band, its shine mocking the darkness of what it meant. Richard had not just been using my daughter, he had been planning a future with her. He had chosen her over me. And Lily, my Lily, had been willing. I sank to the floor, my chest heaving as silent sobs racked my body. The walls of the house that once held love now felt like prison bars. My life, my family, my heart, everything had been stolen in the cruelest way. But when I finally wiped my tears and picked up that ring, something inside me hardened. I was done being silent. I was done being broken. That night, I walked into Lily's room, the velvet box clutched tightly in my hand. She was sitting on the edge of her bed, her face pale and puffy from crying. She looked up when I entered, fear flickering in her eyes. "Mom." I tossed the box onto her lap. "Explain this." Her hands shook as she opened it. Her breath caught. Her eyes widened. "Where did you?" "Do not play with me," I snapped. My voice shook with fury. "How long, Lily? How long were you planning to let him do this? How long were you going to let him destroy me, destroy us?" Tears welled in her eyes. I did not know about this. I swear. He never told me. I did not ask for a ring. "Do not lie to me again," I hissed. "I am not lying," she cried, clutching the box to her chest. "Yes, I was wrong. Yes, I let him in. But I did not want this. I did not want to marry him. I was stupid, Mom. I was weak. But I swear to you, I never wanted him to leave you for me." Her words trembled with desperation. I wanted to believe her, but trust was something that had been ripped out of me, torn apart piece by piece. "You let him touch you. You let him kiss you." "That was enough," I said coldly. Her tears fell freely now, her body shaking. "Please, Mom. Do not hate me. I made a mistake, but I am still your daughter." My chest ached. God help me, I wanted to reach for her, to remind myself that she was my child, my blood. But then I remembered the couch, the moans, the betrayal carved into my memory. Love battled with rage until my insides felt torn apart. The confrontation with Richard came 2 days later. He stormed into the house, furious, demanding to know why I had stolen his ring. His arrogance, his audacity, made my blood boil. "You thought you could propose to my daughter in the same house where you laid with me?" I screamed. "You thought you could destroy me and then take her as if I were nothing?" Richard's face twisted. "You are overreacting. I love her. She is young. She gives me what you cannot anymore." Those words shattered whatever was left of my restraint. I slapped him, my palms stinging, my body trembling. "Get out of my house," I spat. "Get out before I destroy you." He sneered, but I think he saw the fire in my eyes. This time, he did not argue. He left, slamming the door so hard the walls rattled. And just like that, he was gone. What followed was silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. Lily and I lived like strangers under the same roof. She tried, again and again, to repair what she had broken. She cooked dinner. She cleaned. She left notes on my nightstand saying, "I am sorry, Mom. I love you." But love was no longer simple. Every time I looked at her, I saw him. Every time I heard her laugh, I heard it mingling with his. Forgiveness felt impossible. One night, she sat across from me at the kitchen table, her hands trembling around her cup of tea. "Mom," she whispered. "Do you hate me?" I looked at her, my heart heavy. "I do not hate you, Lily. But I cannot love you the way I used to. Not yet. Maybe not ever the same way again." Her tears fell, and mine followed. Because in that moment, I realized betrayal had not only taken Richard from me, it had stolen the bond between mother and daughter. Healing did not come quickly. It did not come easily. I began therapy, pouring my rage, grief, and heartbreak into sessions that left me raw and empty. I joined a women's support group, where I listened to stories of infidelity, abuse, and betrayal, and slowly realized I was not alone. Pain has many faces, and mine was just one of them. With time, the fury began to fade. the wounds began to scar. And I learned the hardest truth of all: sometimes the people you love the most are the ones who hurt you the deepest. But I also learned something else. I survived. Richard did not destroy me. Lily's betrayal did not end me. My trust may have shattered, but my strength grew in its place. Months later, I stood in front of the mirror, staring at the woman reflected back at me. The lines on my face told stories of laughter and sorrow, of battles fought and survived. I was no longer the woman who believed love alone could keep betrayal away. I was stronger, sharper, and wiser. My heart still ached when I thought of Lily. The road to healing our relationship stretched long and uncertain before us. But I knew one thing: I would not let bitterness define me. Because betrayal is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a new one. And to you, listening to my story, if you have ever been betrayed, if your heart has ever been broken by those you trusted most, I want you to hear me now. You are stronger than you know. You can rise from the ashes. Do not let betrayal make you bitter. Let it make you wiser. Let it make you powerful. Do not let anyone else define your worth. You are enough. Fire. If my story touched you, please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs strength today. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your voice. And remember this: even when trust is shattered, healing is possible.